What's going on, everybody? It's Professor Gnome, and today we're going to be taking a look at Espathra EX, and mostly because of the fact that a member of the Discord actually was looking at the deck, and it kind of inspired me to take another look at it and kind of make some changes to it and show how I would play the list. So big shout out to CamC or CamMC. I'm not exactly sure how it's exactly supposed to be pronounced, but they kind of re-inspired me to look at Espathra again. And so one of the things that makes Espathra really interesting is that it's a great anti-meta card because of its grass typing, which allows it to hit for weakness against Charizard and do a ton of damage. It also has the Dazzling Gaze ability, which is really good against a lot of different decks in the meta right now, Raging Bolt, things like that, because what it does is that it makes your energy cost one more. And so even against something like, let's say, Arceus, which does resist us by 30, it really stops them from being able to get a lot of attacks off, because Arceus moves 2 energies, and then you attach 1 for hand, but then they still can't attack because you're adding 1 to the attack cost. This also works really well into things like Regidrago, and also into things like Dracopult, since it's really functioning on just attaching the 1 energy, playing down the Sparkling Crystal, and you kind of get to bypass a lot of that. So it's really annoying and a very good anti-meta card, and we're going to lean into that anti-meta strategy by adding in the Toedscruel and with the ability Slime Mold Colony, because this will also help in our Regidrago matchup as well as our Raging Bolt matchup, where it stops your opponent from being able to add cards from their discard pile to their hand. So things like Superior Energy Retrieval and things like that won't work, as well as it shuts off things like the Pokestop for Regidrago decks. And one of the other things that it stops with Regidrago is just its V-Star power, being able to retrieve those cards from the discard pile, all gets stopped by our Toedscruel. So we want to make sure that we're able to do that as well. And then one other thing that we are doing is we are running 1 copy of Jamming Tower, but we're also running 2 copies of Pokemon League Headquarters. This is really good because it makes basic Pokemon, their attack cost goes up by 1 as well. So again, something like Raging Bolt, we're actually adding 2 to their attack cost, which can be really, really difficult. One of the other things that this does is that if we play it down early, it makes it so we can't get Budewed, because it adds 1 to the energy cost. So then we can get Budewed, but it costs them an energy to actually do it, which a lot of people don't want to do. So that can actually be pretty disruptive in its own right. And then also Jamming Tower, since we do play some tool cards in the Rescue board, the Devo, and the Evo, but more often than not, we can play around our own Jamming Tower and only play it when it matters and can affect larger games. So think of it, again, that like the Raging Bolt matchup, or the Regidrago matchup, or even the Dracopult matchup where they're playing like Sparkling Crystal. We can play Jamming Tower down, really be disruptive, and it kind of goes a long way. But yeah, that's going to be the list, guys. Be sure to let me know what you think of the list and any changes that you would make. I think this deck is very, very underrated, and also because it profits off Budew like every other, rogue deck out there does right now. The slower game state is definitely good because our damage is a little bit on the lower end. A lot of times we're just going to be kind of popping up with a little bit of damage, 2-shotting stuff, and then setting up for Devos. But yeah, that's going to be the list. Be sure to let me know what you guys think and any changes that you'd make. As always, I want to give a special shout out to the channel members. Thank you guys so much for that additional level of support. It really does go a long way, and I appreciate it a lot, so thank you guys for that. And yeah, be sure to let me know what you guys would want to see in the next video, and what you're excited for Journey Together, since I'm really excited for that set to come out. Prismatic Evolutions has been a little bit dull, to be honest, but I'm really excited for the new Journey Together set. But yeah, alright, we'll get into game 1 in a second. As always, though, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and I'll see you guys in game number 1. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 1, and we're going to be going first. We have an okay open for what we kind of need to do, but okay, we see some Mist Energy, a Therapeutic, some Jocks. I'm actually not really sure what. It could be Lugia? I'm very curious. What are we up against? We see another Flittle. Arceus V. Interesting. We'll go Nest Ball here for Xatu. Attach 1 and pass. Because I feel like that's really all we can do. I'm still not sure what we're even up against. But I think that what we'll probably do is go Arven on the next turn for our Hyper Aroma, just to get everything prepared. Like, get our Xatu down, get our other Espathra to evolve with, use Xatu onto the Flittle, draw 2, kind of go from there. Is it just a pure Arc V deck? Because with them adding the 2 V-Star to hand, I'm tempted to Iono. But I also don't know if I, like, need to. Because I feel like with how many jocks they play and, like, all that kind of stuff, they're just going to get into them anyway. But it does force them to need to use it. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Just to be annoying. It doesn't... Oh, alright. That... Best case scenario. Grab these, evolve that, Clairvoyant Sense, draw myself 2, I get a boss for a future turn, drop 180, I'll live whatever the next incoming attack is, be able to knock that out. They play Potion? Alright, this deck is just bad. I thought maybe they were cooking, but I think this is just matchmaking at its finest. But who knows? Maybe they are. Maybe they're going crazy. But I think this one's just matchmaking at its finest. Playing... We're still not in Arceus right now, though, at the time of this recording. We're, I think we're, like... 1 rank below it or something. So matchmaking is still is what it is, but whatever. I mean, they're still playing through. They're making moves and doing things. They have a sense of what they want to accomplish. They go Starbirth for 2 cards. So maybe they are cooking. I don't know. I don't know why they would play Potion. But yeah, so they did end up getting into both Arc Vs anyway, but they can't attack because Espathra is broken. So we'll grab this. We're going to be taking the first knockout, meaning Counter Catcher's not really going to do anything for us. I'm going to go Ultra Ball here, get rid of this and this. Grab myself the Toedscool kind of early. Because those other cards are pretty much dead in my hand. They're not going to do anything. Alright, both those prize cards are also kind of dead. But I'm not really worried about Word Ear. Because it needs 3 energy to be able to attack in the first place. And then it's really going to need 5 because we're adding 1 from Espathra, 1 from Pokemon League headquarters. This needs 1 more energy to attack with. Okay, so this still needs 1. This will need an additional 1. They go Lucky or Vengeful Punch. Friends of Sinnoh. I'm so confused by what this deck is. Because, like, they're playing their turns out like they're playing something real. Like they're actively trying. But at the same time, it's like, I don't understand what I'm even looking at. Alright, my hand's pretty dead. I was kind of, in a way, hoping they were going to knock me out. So that way, I would draw off the Fezandipiti. But this is fine. I can take the 2-hit KO. There's the Friends of Sinnoh. So they can take me down to 60. Power up the Word Ear. But the benefit here is that the more energy they end up putting on the Word Ear, the more damage we're going to do. Which makes things all the more easy. Actually, I could probably just boss this up. But then I'm in the same position, so... Grab this, and this. We'll get rid of the Budew. Grab double energy. Then what we can do is go Clairvoyant Sense. Drill 2. Clairvoyant Sense again onto the Flittle. And now it's safe to evolve. And then from here, I'm going to hold on to the 1 energy. Go ahead and Power Ball, or Psy Ball, knock that out. Vengeful Punch does 40, which means we still live. We take 2 prizes. There's the Arvens we wanted earlier. And now, it still needs 1 more energy to attack with. We can assume it has, you know, they're going to have it in their hand. I'm still so confused why they're playing Friends of Sinnoh. Are they... Ooh. Are they playing, like, a theme... No. Okay, I thought maybe they were playing a themed deck where they could only use cards from, like, a certain set. But that's not the case. The main thing here is that they get the Psybash and knock us out. They take 2. We bring in Espathra, and we're about to do so much damage because of how many energy they have on them. This is also why this deck isn't actually that bad into Lugia, because of how much Lugia has to stack energies. We get to attach that. Hit for 270 and call it a day. Woo! Alright. We get our 2 Nest Balls. We beat that deck. I'm really not sure what they were going for there. They had maybe a great idea on paper. Unfortunately, they can't read. So, you know, didn't really work out. But that's going to be game number 1, and we'll jump into game number 2 in a second. I'll see you guys there. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 2, and our opponent's going to be going first. We are going to mulligan here, but honestly, if one of these was a basic, we'd be in a pretty good spot. But unfortunately, we do have to mulligan. What else? We'll see what our opponent's playing in a second. We see Umbreon sleeves. It'd be cool if they were playing like an Umbreon deck. Unfortunately, this hand is really bad, so hopefully we top deck something useful. We went from having a really good hand to one that is near unplayable. And we had to mulligan twice, so not looking up, but who knows? Maybe we get lucky, we top deck, like, Iono. We just play the Iono roll and get ourselves a whole new hand to work with that, like, actually functions. Yeah. Good plan. Okay, so we're up against Hydreigon. That's actually not going to be bad for us either. Hydreigon has a pretty high energy cost. We do hit it for weakness. We can be really disruptive with the fact that we add more to its just like straight attack costs. They go Sparkling Crystal right away. Meaning later on when we go... Alright, we only get a Nest Ball. That's really bad. I think we have to play it like this. We bring this in. Go ahead and just attack. Turn off items and start praying. And if this does get knocked out, we at least get the Fezandipiti draw. They can go bite here. Okay, Iono is huge for us. If we get one extra turn, we're going to be in such a good spot. There's Greninja. Doesn't seem like there's anything they can do to us. We retreat out, bringing Greninja. This is all really good because it means we're going to be able to go Buddy Poffin, start to set up our board. We get the Hyper Aroma as well. Which means I'm going to go Arven. Grab myself TM Evo and Earthen Vessel. Yeah, get rid of the Earthen Vessel to grab myself double energy. I'm attaching one for turn. And then going Itchy Pollen again. I think that's good. I think that's the play. What I'd really like is to be able to set up the Toedscool. But right now, Budew's really bailing us out. We also have the boss's orders. That's pretty big, because what I actually want to do is get rid of the Roaring Moon more than anything else. We'll go Clairvoyant Sense. Drill 2. Nest Ball for 1 Toad. Nest Ball for 1 more Flittle. I don't do enough damage yet. The problem is that I don't do enough damage to boss this up and knock it out right away. But the main thing is that I can go... And actually, do I want to knock out the Pidgey? Because between everything else, I'll survive regardless. Yeah. Because I want to stop Pidgeot. Because nothing else can get an attack off anyway. Because in order to bring in the Roaring Moon and to knock me out, they have to get 4 energies attached to the Roaring Moon. and I just don't foresee that happening in a single turn anyway. Because they'd have to hit, like, double... Yeah, and even if they make Hydreigon here, that's fine. Because we'll end up hitting for weakness, we can attach an energy. If they build up, like, we're fine. Because right now, the only thing they can really do is go, like, Crushing Headbutt. Which means we do survive that. We'll start to build up the Flittle. We'll go Hyper Aroma. Yeah, and they can't even do that because even with the whole thing is like Crystal makes this a 1 energy attack, which they could do, but we have the Dazzling Gaze, so it's still like we're canceling out the crystals, so they can't actually do anything. We need to go Clairvoyant Sense, attach that to the Flittle, draw 2. We'll grab ourselves this. We'll get this evolved. We don't get the KO here no matter what. But we can grab Devo for later. As well as a Night Stretcher. I think is fine. And then we'll evolve this just in case they end up going like really hard commit into Obsidian. But we'll drop the 240. Set this up that we are able to KO it on the next turn. And then, like I said, we have the TM Devo. So if they commit to like rare candy onto this and all that kind of stuff, like honestly, what we might want to do is go Counter Catcher, put damage onto this, or like we can just straight knock this out. And yeah, so they still can't attack because they don't have any energy. They don't really have anything they can actually like do. Probably should have Xatu there. I wasn't really paying attention. Alright, so we'll get the KO. Alright, double Iono. That's fine. We get to flip the script. At any point that they go Roaring Moon and bring it in, even if they're able to like KO us, it doesn't really matter because we can just bring in our other one and just get the KO. And we have Budew, who can just be our free retreater, put that in the active, so. Yeah, the whole thing is, like, they just don't have the energy they need to get past the Dazzling Gaze, because it's just such a unique ability. Treat this out. I assume they just go, like, Greninja again. No, they go Dino. None of this really matters, so I'm just gonna drop the Iono for now. Reset their hand, as well as ours. With the Arven for next turn, as well as an Ultra Ball. We can go Sideball here. Grab ourselves one more prize. We're really just looking for a boss. Flittle's fine too. We're just gonna slowly wither them down. The Hydreigon art's so good. Such a sick card art. I assume they have another rare candy in hand, because they discarded one in order to get the Pidgeot in the first place. They go Pokestop, but they don't remember that it doesn't work. Because Slime Mold Colony, so they just throw away 3 cards, including 2 actual items. Go Pidgeot V. Or EX, sorry. In order to get the Crushing Headbutt attack, they have to put 2 energy down. Off by getting, like, they need to go double Dark Patch onto Hydreigon in order to get the Crushing Headbutt off. They're not going to be able to Obsidian. Are we serious? We're just not allowed to know what this card is. Oh, okay. It's Super Odd. We finally got to find out. So they went Super Odd into Earthen Vessel to get 2 energies. So they can Greninja and attach for turn. There's Dark Patch for 1. Did they attach for turn? No. Yeah, so Dark Patch attach for turn. The problem is that this doesn't KO us, and you put so many energy on your Pokemon that we are going to just be able to one-shot you. That's a little unlucky, but it actually doesn't matter. Because we can go Arven and just grab Night Stretcher. We actually KO anyway, but I want to get big damage. .420, just like, and we knock out the Hydreigon, taking the last 2 prize cards, making it look easy, because, I mean, it kind of is. We're in a severe counter matchup, which is why this deck works so well. It's kind of just designed to abuse the meta. But, yeah, that's game number 2, and we'll jump into game number 3 in just a second. I'll see you guys there. Peace. Alright, we're into game number 3, and we're going to be going first. We open... Not bad. Could be better, but could be much worse. We see Water, Fire, and Sparkling Crystal. I assume it's going to be some sort of Evolution deck, but also the sleeves are influencing that decision. A little bit. What is nice is that even if we kind of get, like, nothing going for ourselves off this, we do get double Xatu, which will help us out a lot. I'm just going to pass immediately. And the reason for that is that I'm fairly confident my Natu is not going to get knocked out. I want to hold the headquarters because they're probably going to want to go for the Area 0. And if that's the case, if I play the headquarters, they knock it out or they bump it no matter what. I don't want to play an energy for the turn because I do have double energy in hand already. So if I get the double Xatu, I can draw 4 cards, powering up the Flittle. Then if I don't get anything I want from that, I can play the headquarters after to bump the Area 0, then drop Iono to be really annoying to my opponent. We see the Eevees come down. The main worry here is Flareon, but again, the energy requirements that their deck is going to need in order to get these attacks off in the first place is going to be pretty difficult to meet. Because of the fact that we'll have the Dazzling Gaze, Dazzling Glaze, Jesus. The Dazzling Gaze ability being pretty disruptive. There's also a chance that we can actually knock this Hoot out if they don't move it. But it seems like they'd want to set up for, like, Glass Trumpet plays. Terra Orb. For an Eevee. That makes sense. Okay, 3 energies is kind of nuts, but it's not bad. So we'll go Clairvoyant Sense. We get ourselves 2 cards. None of these are particularly very good. We'll Clairvoyant Sense again. This is better because we can go Buddy Poffin here for this and this. And then what I'm going to do is go Ultra Ball, get rid of this and 1 Headquarters in order to grab myself the Espathra EX. Go ahead and evolve that. Place the Headquarters down. Place this. Retreat. Bring this in because I will be able to knock out the Hoot Hoot, removing any threat of a Noctowl on the future turn. I'll hold the Nest Balls and everything like that for now. Go Psyball, knock out the Hoot Hoot, take 1 prize. We do know that in their hand before was the Noctowl. So we want to make sure that we're removing that. What else did they add? I don't remember. Alright, they do have Flareon in hand, but they need 2 energies in order to do anything with it. They can attach from hand, but that won't be enough. They would need another way to put an energy onto this. Glass Trumpet only works to the bench, so we don't have to really fear that. If they start to power this up, it does just make us a little bit stronger, but the main goal from this point... Okay, they have the Crystal, Glass Trumpet. They're still in the same position. But the goal now is to start powering up the Flittle on the bench to kind of revenge kill after our active gets knocked out. I think they're confused on why they can't attack. But at this point, we also dropped Jamming Tower, because League Headquarters isn't going to benefit us or matter. That will also shut off the Sparkling Crystal, making it so they'll need 2 energies with almost no cards to work with in hand. Drop this down. We can Clairvoyant Sense. Draw ourselves 2. Do get a rescue board, not that that really matters. We're only dropping 120 here. We'll go Arven for this and de-evo, since that will matter later potentially. We'll go ahead and get rid of 1 Nest Ball for 2 more energy. Go Clairvoyant Sense again. Setting this up. Drawing us 2. We don't get what we were looking for, but we can get rid of this and this at this point in order to grab that. And just get that evolved for the future. And we'll hold on to the energy in hand, since this will become a 2-hit KO no matter what. On our next turn, whether they attach an energy or we do, the Arven shouldn't really make a difference here, because they still need 2 energy to attach with in order to get the attack off for the Burning Charge. Even if Arven gets them Glass Trumpet, that doesn't do anything. They could get themselves Ultra Ball in order to get into Noctowl. But then... Okay, Noctowl can get them Area 0 and Earthen Vessel. And that's how they can get the attack off. But if they commit to that, they'll get knocked out by the Espathra we're able to bring in. And then at that point, I don't think there's anything they can do. And that's if they have an Earthen Vessel to work with. Because they already played 1, but maybe they play 2? If they only play 1, then they're stuck. They go boss's orders. So they don't have an Area 0? That wouldn't make any sense. There's no way. Unless they already have it in hand. No, because that's the boss. I refuse to believe that all of their Area 0s are prized. That was a really big mistake by them. Because they already Arven. I think what they thought... I think they forgot they already Arvened. And what they wanted to do is they wanted to boss up something like the Natu or the Toedscruel or something like that. So that way the Dazzling Gaze wouldn't be on. They'd be able to Burning Charge, get the knockout, power up the Espeon. I think was where their intentions were. But they just forgot they had already played Arven. Is my thought process. But that's gone now. Which means this game is over. There's no way they're going to be able to power anything up in time to do like enough damage to matter. And at this point, we just play the other Flittle down and start to... Yeah, we just play the other Flittle down and just start to try to power that up when we're like where we can. You know, Terra Orb, Electric Energy, Flareon. Alright. So Flittle. We'll just start to power this up. And then I think the play is honestly we just boss this, put enough damage onto it to knock it out later. Right? Like we just do the 250 now. If they don't have an energy in hand, they can't attack with it anyway. And it also stops it, like, even if they have Glass Trumpet, they wouldn't be able to get this powered up. Okay, there's the boss, so this is the play they wanted to make earlier, but it's way too late to do that. I'm surprised I never found my Toedscruel. That's interesting. Alright, we'll just grab Night Stretcher so we can grab an energy from our discard pile. Retreat, knock this out. I'm surprised they didn't attack, but I think it's because if they attack... Oh, they don't have a fire energy. That's unfortunate, buddy. Yeah, they needed a fire energy for the burning charge, so it literally made no difference. Well, that's the game. You get another energy, as well as another Espathra. Not that that matters. And boss's orders, so no matter what happens here, we just knock out the active. Well, GG. We just get to be incredibly disruptive and take it where our opponent gets no prize cards. I think that's the second time that's happened, or third. It's super strong. I actually like playing this deck a lot. It's very, very, very disruptive. Some of the sequencing on it can be a little bit weird, but just because, like, you can mess yourself up playing your own cards sometimes. But it's very, very powerful, very good. Highly recommend it. If you're looking for a fun anti-meta deck, then I definitely recommend this one. And yeah, shout out to everybody, and I will see you guys all in the next video. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Be sure to let me know what you want to see in the next video and all that kind of stuff, and I will see you guys all there. Peace.